So I want you to put your hands together, please. Give a big welcome to stage to Christine Nalchadjian from Coursera, VP of Southern Europe for Coursera. Christine, here we go.
Okay, hi everyone. Oh, you hear me well, right? I hear myself as well, so it's perfect. Hi. So thank you very much for coming today. I'll just go quickly through the agenda, what we're going to see together. So obviously I'll go very quickly about the definitions of what's the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and of course the generative AI. The idea is that really I am not going to do a lesson, right? It's just to understand what's the whole idea of AI in L&D job and how your job is getting more and more strategic and how artificial intelligence and, of course, Coursera can help you to go there and to be even more powerful inside of your teams and your companies. So let's start by the definitions. First of all, what's artificial intelligence? You know, right? And it's been years and years we're using it now. We sometimes even use without knowing there is an AI behind it. For example, when we're doing search on Google, all the chatbots that you're probably using since a while now for the customer care, right? There is an artificial intelligence behind it. For those who are in social media, everything that is coming up and that is proposed to you, there is an artificial intelligence behind it. And of course, for those who has Alexa or Google Home or anything else, like the virtual assistant, there is artificial intelligence behind it. And for those who have Tesla car, of course, there is a bit of artificial intelligence behind it as well. So until here, it's quite clear. What is the most important at the end? It's really the transformation from artificial intelligence to generative artificial intelligence. First of all, the purpose change, right? Like artificial intelligence, we're just developing computer systems that what they do is they really perform some human intelligence to the artificial intelligence. We are automizing. That's the whole idea. Machine learning is predicting the data. We are giving them data. They are giving you the information based on that data. What is generative AI? This is the whole purpose that is changing, because the whole idea is to generate new data on the given data. But what's the most important? It's what is the data interaction? It's not that much the purpose, but the data interaction. Because for artificial intelligence, models use various techniques and various strategies that are designed to mimic whatever a human is doing. So there is a task that you're doing. With artificial intelligence, we are just automizing it. With traditional ML, it's really models. It's very easy. It's easy. We take the data and we create models out of the given data. With generative AI, the models produce new data given on a data that we give. Until now, we're clear, right? No questions, no big changes or knowledge here. What's interesting at the end is why the use of artificial intelligence now, why it is important for L&Ds, for your roles, and for your companies. To understand that a bit better, what I propose you is to go through the data when technology and when artificial intelligence just came on in 2017. These are the data based on Bloomberg. They have done research. There are also similar research done by McKinsey and a lot of other companies. The idea is to say, at least in 2017, with the new technology arriving, what we were thinking is that the most at risk and most vulnerable jobs were the blue collars, right? Those who do not have a lot of education, who are doing automated tasks, who are really not having a lot of wage. So all those who had wages, they were quite protected. Like the risk was very low for them, but it was high risk for all the other people. Okay, like waiters, you can see even there are now robots bringing you food. You can order automatically, you don't really need them, like cashiers and a lot of other jobs like this. What's interesting that it is changing now in 2023. The knowledge, the digital skills, the credentials that were initially here, from here now go to generative AI. So all this knowledge, as a lawyer, for example, you can put it in a data, right? In any of these existing generative AI tools, ChatGPT probably, and then it brings all the high wages people to the most vulnerable. Because basically the idea is to say that up to 49% of workers could have half or more of their tasks exposed to large language models. And these large language models are done especially for those and are dangerous, especially for those who have higher wages and who are associated with increasing the exposure to GBT. So what it means, basically, it means that in 2016 or 2017, the risk of automations were like for those who have no formal education, who don't have like a high school diploma, people who were not really have a lot of degrees, and so on. What is changing now is 2023, those who are most exposed are those who have already a college degree. So a lot of your people in your teams, those who have bachelor degrees and those who have master or PhD. Because the intelligence that we had previously only as human, now it's a data that we can use in the tools that we are using. Okay, so which bring us basically the first top three are totally different. Look, even the master PhD, it was like the less vulnerable. Now it is the number 3. And all the others are definitely. So it is totally changing everything. So what it means for you, it means for you that you need to rework your, first of all, your job, because it also transforms a bit your job, and we'll go through it to understand how. And especially it means that how you need to think about how you can use this tool that exists, the artificial intelligence, the generative one that exists, to help you to have a more strategic role in your companies. To do that, let's go. So this is normally your job, your tasks, right, that you already know. So I'm not going to explain everything, but and this is not exhaustive, like this is just a piece of it. But if we go to L&D leader role, there are 2 kind of tasks. There is the strategic ones and operational ones. The strategic ones, which are creating the strategy of development, making sure that you are partnering with your management teams, you're making sure that the teams are getting the impact, that you are able to measure that impact, that you are doing the training analysis, like what are the trainings that are needed or learning that is needed in the company. It actually can go until what's the strategy, the learning and talent development and growth strategy in your companies. Okay. From the operational tasks, you have, of course, the content design. I think a lot of you, how many of you are spending time on the content design? Can you show me with your hand? Well, yeah, it's a lot of you, right? So here, maybe artificial intelligence will help you, and I'll show you in a few minutes. So how you implement the training programs, you can assess the participants, of course. You are already doing it, but the question is how we can use AI for that. And the instructor training management, all these tasks and budget monitoring, of course, we can go beyond the tricks. Basically, the idea is to see how artificial intelligence can help here. Let me give you a few examples. If I can, guys, thank you. So the examples, how we can use artificial intelligence, right? It's very easy. First of all, you can personalize the learning, and you probably are already doing. If you were previously personalizing learning with your own knowledge, taking some consultants and different providers were helping you to create, and it was taking a lot of time. Today, with artificial intelligence, it can take less time, it can be optimized and proposing the best solutions for your learning. Of course, chatbots. How many of you have chatbots in your own companies for the learning purposes only? Few of you. I think this is something that you can reconsider and see how you can have now more. Like, so you have the predictive analysis, of course, you already are doing this, some predictive analysis of like what are the lessons or learnings that your teams are already having and which kind of learnings they could go. It's actually very often the part of, the learning path. Like if you want to go from this career to this career, we are predicting what are the steps and learnings that you need to go through so that you can come to this career, for example. Or if you're upskilling or reskilling, the prediction can help you in your teams internally to understand from where to where they should go. You can, of course, do simulations, virtual reality. There were a huge thing about virtual reality a few years ago. This is coming a little bit back. It's up to you to see how you work on that. The automated systems and assessment, we talked about recommendation systems, of course. And what's the content translation by AI? So what means the C here? Do you know what means the C here? is Coursera. That is the Coursera logo to tell that these are the questions when we are very, very much advanced and we are already using in our company because we are a learning platform. So, of course, as a Courserians, we are learners. We are always learners, having lessons at least once a month, going beyond of whatever we can of our lives to really make sure that we are using the right artificial intelligence as well. So how we can help you with personalization of learning? For example, we are now announcing a new tool that will help you to create new courses. The name is Course Builder. So if you are interested, we will be doing actually demos this afternoon of our solutions. So this is not the purpose at my stage, but at least we have team who will be doing this. So please do not hesitate to go and see because amazing futures are around. And also we have a booth just here on the right, so please come and see us as well if it's interest. But it is like basically you can go from many hours of work to few seconds or few minutes of creating a personalized learning for your teams, taking the best of all the existing best courses already. So it's the best of the best. Chatbots, we have already Coach. For example, if you are a user of Coursera platform, in Coursera platform, we have that chatbot that predicts, that helps. It's a generative AI behind it, actually. So it's answering your question, bringing data, it's learning, and re-answering you based on the lessons that you will be having in your program or in your learning path. The recommendation system, obviously, I'm not going too much in detail, and the content translation. And content translation is super, super interesting because thanks to the content translation of artificial intelligence, we, just a few months ago, were able to translate more than 4,000 courses into 17 languages. And we have done it in just a few months. So it's really powerful because it helped us to give you, our partners and customers, all the information that you need just in a few months. And the ideal world, we will be very soon having translated not only the text, but also audio. So if we are able to do it, you're also able to do it. You're able to use all of it if you're working with Coursera, or you can also do it as a learning and development leader. So to go beyond, what's interesting is, so what are the stars here? We're missing a point here, sorry. The stars, basically the stars means that the green stars are where these tasks are already impacted by AI, right? So which means that with or without us, these are the tasks when you already can automate it all and use generative AI for that. The orange ones are the tasks that are getting more and more, but they are not yet fully using the generative AI. And if we see all this, so what's the conclusion here, right? The conclusion is what I started by, is your roles are getting more and more strategic because all the operational stuff, you can rely on artificial intelligence, on generative artificial intelligence that will help you to do it as fast as and as efficient that you would do. And then you can really go more and more on a strategic thinking. So this is what I wanted to tell you today, and we have made sure that we are spending. Yes, this is what I wanted to tell you today, and I hope you really believe in it. That generative AI can help you as an L&D leader and can help all your company to be more strategic and more thinking and being the part of the whole reflection about what is the talent development and how we can work on the learning development of your entire teams and, of course, of yourself. Would you like to have questions? I don't see the timer, actually, so I don't know how...
You've done really well. It's 50, sorry, I kicked the timer over when I got off, sorry. I could tell you, you've got 15 minutes. Really good. I do a lot of research in this field. This is spot on. This is your moment to ask some good questions. So I'm going to ask a question because it's crucial. Christine, you said the role of L&D is moving from tactical to strategic. Yes. Is everybody ready for it?
You mean everybody L&D or everybody companies?
Both. So is L&D ready for it? Are the companies ready for it? Because we see learning, or the companies see learning and development's job as training, and that's changing.
Yes. That's actually a very interesting point. So until, I would say very recently, I mean, you have always been in this COVID period where all of a sudden learning and training was super important. I don't say it wasn't important previously, but it brought up a bit of pressure. And we went through very huge training process. Let's have trainings, let's do a lot of upskilling, reskilling, but by trainings. What we say in Coursera is that the important is not just having a training, like the important is learning. And the idea is a lifelong learning. So it's not you have these security trainings and so on. These are mandatory. We are all doing it. But the idea is that how you develop towards something that you want or something that you think you will need at a job that is changing. It's same for L&Ds. Are everybody ready? No. I think no L&Ds and no companies are ready. Even we, being Coursera, we are very active in this domain. But even there, even though everyone is really engaged to learn, at one point, even if you are super ready, you don't have time. When do you do it, right? And your teams, you are bringing them the best tools ever, but they need to craft some time. And that's why L&Ds are becoming more and more strategic, because you need the help and the partnership of your CEOs, of all the managers around. Because if it's coming from the manager or the CEO needs to be supportive. He needs to show the example. It's not like I told you, go and do the trainings and we will, or the learning that we'll do. I mean, you're all in this situation. At one point, if you want to take the learning, as a learner, you need to find time, either in the evening, either in the day, either during their lunch, whatever. So not everybody ready, but it's crucial now. It's crucial because the growth is exponential. And it is going so fast. You have seen in 4 months, between the moment when ChatGPT came up, it already became another level. And everyone is using and everyone is talking about it. But how will we using it if we don't really have the right information? We didn't learn. We are doing internally, we have done 3 different courses about what's generative AI. We have even opened up all these courses about what's the generative AI, because at least the minimum and general information needs to be learned. There are basics that needs to be learned, and that will help to go around. Ready? No, not everyone, but there is hope.
Okay, we've got one more question here. Yeah, let me take it over.
Yeah, thank you.
Marius?
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Christine. My question is, are there any geographies or cultures and industries around the world that adopt these changes differently? Do you see that? Especially in industries and cultures around the world which adopt AI differently, at a different pace?
Yes. From what we see, thank you for your question. From what we see in our research, basically, I think like the usual technologically advanced countries or regions are very much advanced on these subjects, like US, especially some parts of the US, LATAM, they are quite advanced as well. And for all the cultures that are not afraid of technologically advanced discussions, they are advanced basically, and they're going towards it. Europe, I think we are advanced, but of course we are questioning about, should we put limits? What's the use and what's the worst case scenario? Because, like, for example, the usage of artificial intelligence on social media, especially for youngs, it's not really all beneficial, right? So that's why there are a bunch of questions in Europe, but I think we're still very much advanced. The good news today is that with all the learning platforms that exist, when I was younger, I didn't have all these. Today, you can have any information, and you know the worst piece of like what's fake and what's not, right? Where the content is coming. This is why actually it is important when you're working with a provider to make sure that there is a quality content that you're offering to the people who is working with you. And from the industry's perspective, as I was saying, so everything that is in research, for example, it's super important for them. It is helping them. They were already working with like artificial intelligence and so on. Banking, definitely they are going towards that more and more. All those industries where using or developing the very education people.
Christine, got another question here. Then we'll have one at the front. Thank you.
We can talk later if you want.
Hello, thank you for your presentation.
Marius, can we have more volume? Yeah. Okay. Sabine.
Hello. How do you manage the constraints that we can have in your company? It's the confidentiality of the data created by IA, because a lot of IA are managed by Google, for example. So it's in the Google server. And in my company, for example, it's forbidden to use.
Yeah. So classic question, if you're dealing in pharmaceutical, finance, confidentiality is crucial. How can we be sure that we're doing the right thing?
I think so. There are two questions here. The one is like, obviously, your IT department, when they are working with artificial intelligence companies, they need to make sure that where the data is based, right? And I think there are a lot of companies like Google or others, they are also giving some guarantees about data usage, data storage, and so on. But like it's for education, for us, for example, if we take Coach, which is our chatbot that is using the entire information from the platform, the Coach is closed only, and it's only on the platform. So we know that whatever it is using, it is taking the information from you to you. Like, it is in it. So it is secured, and actually we have been asked the same question at the CEO level at our company. He made that partnership with OpenAI to make sure that it is closed, it's for us, the data is for us. So I think the big companies have today the possibility to guarantee you where the data, or at least to explain you where is the data, so that we're making sure that they are protected.
Great question. Thank you very much. We have one more question, then we'll wrap up. Please go ahead.
Do you have examples of instructor training, but in higher education? I would say more professor training or actually change management. In Coursera, do you have a visibility of the best practices to change professors' mentality and so on? So that
this is a tough question.
Yes.
In higher education, how do you change the attitude of faculty?
So yes, we have a lot of examples. If you come to our stand, I'll show you a few, because we do work with a lot of universities. In France, we're working with Schema. We are working with some big universities as well around the world. So I can show you the references. As an example, it's train the trainer mode, so how you train the trainer. For us, for example, if I take us, like the management level, as those who need to train the others, we have the learning path, which is the leadership academy, and we go through it, and we start very basically like what's the leader, how you go there, and so on, and we're getting into all these trainings, and the little by little adding points. So it's the mindset change, it's difficult, and the mindset comes from the culture and from the person, right? If the culture of the company, of the culture of the teachers, and we see it in higher education, we see it a lot. Some teachers are super advanced, they are already in it, they're pushing it, and some are still thinking. And actually we were talking about our L&D ready, our teachers ready, not all of them, but they don't have choice anymore at this point, because their students are using it and they are ready. So the question is, it's not when they are going, it's not even are they going, they are going, but faster they will go. So the question will be how we evangelize, how we explain them, how we show them the examples. We usually do ambassador program in the company with the companies or with the universities we are working. We create ambassadors, few ambassadors, who are, for example, the same teachers, who will be showing by results what are the benefits for them. And it works also for commercial enterprises, because it's not everywhere that everyone wants to go, right? There's always a blocking point. Any change is blocking at the beginning. So there are some people who are up and running, and majority is not. So you always need to show the example of those who really didn't want to go but made the choice, and what are the benefits.
I've just add one thing. When you're doing change management, very often there is one or two people who are very negative.
Yes.
But if you can find those people and bring them on board and change their minds, they then act as change agents for other people and make other people come on board. But that's tough. It's really tough, especially in higher education. We're very close to the end now, so I'm just going to ask, this is a really important topic, so I'm going to ask Christine very quickly. You didn't know I was going to ask you this. One thing. Everybody here, walking away, what's the one thing we can do to get ourselves ready, apart, of course, from coming to the Coursera stand? That's very important. Apart from that, what should we be doing to get ready for AI in learning?
I think we need to start using it. Like, you need to prompt, you need to understand what's behind it. Like, even if you're an engineer at one point, you need to understand what's behind, even if technologically you're advanced. It's not like I ask a question and it answered to me, right? It's not Google research, it's not just predictive answers. We need to use to understand the impact. Even me, I was like hearing about it for months, and then I went and I prompted, and I was like, oh my, okay, this is a different level. And it can give you, like, give one example, for example, it can help you, if you're doing a strategic planning, if you put all the data in it, it can help you create your planning. I mean, do not copy everything, of course, think about it, do not use it as it is, because actually we can see when it is used as it is. Everyone can see it now. But like, use it just once, at least once, but a bit more than just going on ChatGPT and asking one question.
So go to ChatGPT, ask questions, and then ask again and query and understand and really get to understand it.
I think the ask the question is the most important piece of how you ask the question.
Yeah.
So that's the prompting piece, right?
Okay.
Because you can ask differently the same questions and you will get different answers.
That's brilliant. Look, this has been really helpful. It's opened my mind up. Let's give a big hand to Christine. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Christine.